Wayzata Orono and Long Lake. I'm Sun Sailor Community Editor Jared Huizenga. Today is Thursday, February 26th, and today we'll be taking a look at some of the stories featured in this week's edition of the Sun Sailor, which hits newsstands today. The top story from last week was the Long Lake City Council's appointment of longtime Finance Director Terry Post to the position of City Administrator. As I wrote, if there had been any opposition to the appointment, it could have made for a few tense moments in City Hall, as it was Post who presented the motion to the City Council to appoint Post to the position of City Administrator. After a brief pause and a slightly awkward chuckle, Post made the recommendation and reminded the Council that City Attorney Joel Jamnick had informed them that it needed a supermajority to pass the motion. The vote surpassed that, as the Council unanimously approved the motion. "I'm glad you're willing to take on the extra responsibilities," Mayor Randy Gilbert said before joking that he probably should have handled the presentation. Post replied that he was thankful for the Council and having confidence in him to take on the position. And that confidence that the Council has in Post's abilities shows in the updated job description for the City Administrator. In addition to the day-to-day tasks and projects of the Administrator, Post will continue doing the work he did as the City's Finance Director. The responsibility of the City Planner will also be put into the City Administrator's duties. As per City policy, Post will receive a 6-month probationary period, and a performance evaluation will be conducted by August 18th. An informational meeting held last Wednesday in Wayzata has been deemed a success by both the City and the Chamber of Commerce. The main point of the session was to let businesses that do not have a wine or catering license know what they can and cannot serve their clientele. The short answer is that things like coffee and prepackaged items like cookies and candy bars are acceptable. Cooking up items at home or serving things like fresh fruit and alcohol are not. About 45 members of the local business community turned out for the session, something City Clerk Sandy Langley called awesome. Langley stressed that getting this information out has nothing to do with the city levying fines and everything to do with making sure everybody abides by the rules and protects themselves. "We're not prohibiting anything," Langley said, "but there are certain steps to go through." Also appearing in this week's Sun Sailor is an interview with U.S. Representative Eric Paulson. For the past couple of days, we've featured portions of that interview, which were conducted by Sun newspapers correspondents Harvey Rockwood and Chris Allwell. In today's final installment, Paulson was asked about the biggest surprise in his short tenure thus far as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Biggest surprise is also part of the biggest frustration, I think, in having been there only 6 weeks, because everything has sort of been so fast and so big. I mean, that's a little bit of a surprise, because usually it's expected, for the first month and a half, you kind of get up to speed. You have committee hearings, some overviews. You really get the lay of the land on before you actually move to pass legislation. This year it's been a little different, given the nature of the economy and the challenging times that we face. That's been a little bit different. And so we've had really big bills come really quick, like the TARP bailout money, for instance, the second half of those funds, $350 billion. And the stimulus package that moved so quick and so fast. It really didn't go through a committee process, but was kind of written by leadership in a hurry, because the president, of course, wanted it in a hurry, and I understand that. But that was a little bit of a surprise, just the quickness and the pace of it, of such big monumental decisions. Because I think a lot of it, quite honestly, is there's a little uncertainty about being in uncharted territory, uncharted waters, and so a lot of it is brand new.
In addition to the Wayzata Sun Sailor, the Paulson interview will be published in most Sun newspapers in the 3rd Congressional District this week. The full versions of these stories, as well as photos of the test piles driven at the Wayzata Bay Center, the Orono High School play, a preview of the 6-2A boys hockey tournament, and much more can be found in today's issue of the Sun Sailor and on our website, mnsun.com. For Wayzata Today and mnsun.com, I'm Jared Huizenga, and I'll see you tomorrow.